Welcome, everyone, to one of the greatest lives we've ever had. We have two guests today that all of you know, and we'll get into that in a second. We're going to wait until a few people arrive in to the live stream through Twitter, through YouTube, and every other channel. And it's an amazing pleasure to have you all here today. We're going to talk about nothing else but KleverChain. We are less than 60 days away from mainnet launch, and the testnet has been running for close to half a year now, and it's super exciting, not only for the Klever community, but also for the Klever team, because there's so much happening in the background. There is KLV mainnet migration with the staking on 60% already. We're going to talk about KFI migration as well. We're going to talk, of course, about the Klever Hackathon with 30 million KLV and prize pool. Like, share, subscribe to the channel, and if you have questions for our two guests, make sure to comment them in the comment section wherever you are, and our backstage team will pick them up. We have no time to waste. Allow me to introduce our two guests. One of them is the CEO and co-founder of Klever, is Dio Ianakiara, and the other one is Fernando Sobreira, our Director of Blockchain Research and Development. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me today. Great to be here.
Sure. A pleasure, an honor, and it's super exciting to have you both here to talk about everything that has been built over the years and everything that we're building currently and everything that we will be building in the decades to come. So we have no time to waste. Let's jump right into what is KleverChain, Dio, and why build our own chain?
That's I think is a great question because everyone asks that. Why we are not using other blockchains like other developers? Why we decide to build our own blockchain? Well, I think the answer is clear now because the fees are very high, and as a developer, we cannot rely on a technology that change the fee all the time and is so expensive that it's not acceptable. So we saw that was a thing that will be keep increasing the price because the blockchain is limited by the processing, the data that is stored there. And as more people use blockchains technology, uh, it will be keep getting expensive and expensive. And it was our dream to build the technology to support our application, our products, and this blockchain with the fee that's controlled by the community, not the any other organization, is a game changer for us. And I truly believe that having this blockchain in working to support the developers that want to have blockchain applications will be game changing for the industry.
Sobrera?
For me, KleverChain is like opportunity to implement new ideas. Have been involved with blockchain development so long now, and have some ideas that was not able to do so far. And with KleverChain, we are trying to tie together the benefits of the blockchain with the real business real business, and that's what we want to build, new things with for everyone to use, as it's as easy as is for any kind of development. Blockchain is kind of a bit hard for people to understand at the beginning, and we want to easy that step to jump into the blockchain world.
So, Dio, you often speak of financial tools as a public service. Today, we have public service for gas, for water, for electricity, for roads. There are both public and private companies working in them, but there are only private banking, essentially. There's no easily accessible accessible to all financial tools. What do you envision KleverChain will do for that goal of yours and of the entire Klever team?
When we decided to build the KleverChain, that was one of the first thing we thought that was an amazing thing to build. Is to offer public financial services to everyone in the world, and they can easily, in a trustless way, interact with each other using mobile applications and web applications. Uh, that is really necessary because a lot of people needed to rely on banks to have their own account in the world. We are talking about billions of people that have no bank account because they have no identity. And is a pretty shame because we are living in an era that there is a lot of wealth in the world, and this wealth is not well distributed. So we should give opportunity to everyone to interact with this network, to work with that technology and build stuff on that. And this is really powerful for us.
Fantastic. Let's before we jump into the applications and the application layer that we call the Klever apps, the CAPS, that is quite groundbreaking in terms of its approach and infrastructure. But let's talk a little bit more about the KleverChain technology, Sobreira. The speed, the fees, the consensus. What is the KleverChain infrastructure in terms of technological terms? What is it built out of?
So we have we are a POS system, like a proof of stake, a blockchain, but with a big tweaks on how the consensus works. We also implementing the PBFT inside the consensus mechanisms, meaning that before a block is actually produced or forged, all the validators, or at least 70% of the validators must agree with that information that is being submitted to the blockchain. With that, we gain in terms of speed of full validation of a block. For instance, if you go, for example, in Bitcoin, it's hard to get one block rollback because it's need too much power to create another block. But forks can happen every time, micro forks, and so we usually wait 2 or 3 blocks for Bitcoin. For other chains with less power of computation, they need to wait a little bit more if you want to be more secure as well. And also for proof of stake that don't have PBFT, they usually have to wait at least 70% of the number of the validators times the period of the block. And with KleverChain in PBFT, this way we can relay on one block to final agreement on the consensus. That's one thing that we're implementing. Another thing that's different from most of the POS out there is that we don't get the the validators that have most staking in. We do a kind of roll up. So we select, if you reach the minimal threshold for staking, you are part of the consensus, what we call eligible. And if you are eligible, every epoch of the blockchain, of the system, we elect actually a few of our eligible ones, like 21 at the moment, but this is a parameter of the network that we can adjust on the go through the KFI proposals. And with the minimal, we can also ensure a kind of speed up system because we selecting less validators. Of course, there's a drawback on all the validators. If get the most of validators, you can protect more in terms of security, but we lost some kind of speed. So with this kind of rollup, we have a lot of validators in the eligible layer, which make the security layer. And then we reduce that on every epoch, so it's randomly selected as well. And also every block will have a kind of dice roll to select which one of the 21 elected will be the one that proposed in the block. So the way that it's done is kind of difficult to know who is the next one to be forged in the block before the last one is produced, which also creates a layer of security in terms of the consensus mechanisms. I think was the other question about the fees, right? So the fees at the moment we are settled for basic transaction on 1.5, actually 3 KLV for basic transaction, where from that 3 KLV, 1.5 is burned and 1.5 actually have. So if the transaction has a little bit more fee, because some transactions you can increase data inside the transaction, and it'll be of course a little bit more expensive. But this is not the basic transaction. So half of that fee that is produced that we call bandwidth fee will be burned, and the other half will be sent to the validators pool. So will be distributed with the validators and the stakeholders that will be staking and delegating to the validators. The fees are also adjustable on the go. So, for example, if KLV hypes again as it did last time and get a 10x or even 100x more, we can adjust the fee to make it stable in terms of cost. So, for example, we're gonna spend like 3 KLV at 3 cents right now, I think. So 6 cents for one NFT transaction. And if KLV hypes to like $1, this would be like $3. So we can reduce the fees with the community using the KFI proposals. I think that's what you asked, right? There's anything else that you asked that I missed?
No, that was amazing. Dio, do you want to add something?
Sure, I think giving the power to the community to say how much they want to pay is amazing because no one is doing that. I mean, it sucks to pay 100 for a simple transaction in a blockchain. It's unbelievable and unacceptable. So uh, that's another reason to build our own blockchain. We want to build in a way that it will work for us and for everyone, not for just a few.
And a good way to summarize those two aspects, I think, is that one, the Clever blockchain will be permissionless, meaning that it's permissionless in the terms of anyone can become a validator and anyone can stake and anyone can participate in the network. However, it's also community governed through the KFI governance token. So those two aspects are a very powerful combination. And let's jump into one of the more exciting, I think, subjects that comes with this entire infrastructure, and that is, of course, the built-in Clever apps or CAPs. What are built-in CAPs, Dio?
I like this question too. Well, uh, in a smart contract blockchain platform, you have to code the smart contract itself. Even if you want to build a token, you have to create a smart contract. You have to rely and trust that what you're doing and what your developer is doing is really a good thing. It's not something evil, and that's is really it's really not good because uh, you have to rely on runtime execution to, and sometimes the runtime execution is unpredictable. We wanted to build it hard coded like Satoshi did with Bitcoin. Code once and it will be there forever and it will not change. So it should be easy to compile and pre-execute tests and ensure the security of the application. And But we don't want to offer the possibility to the developer build the applications inside our blockchain. We want to build the protocol for the developers. So we want to really work with other developers to build the functionality they want, so they don't have to uh, hire someone to build the smart contract. In the end, we want to build a smart contract that will serve for him and for other developers too. Something that it has market fit and it's possible to share with the others. And I think this is really powerful. And another thing is we will have a ready to use applications that was built on the KleverChain. And it will be available very soon in the testnet and very soon in the production when we launch in the 59 days following. So, clever apps are our hypothesis to have blockchain applications that are safe and easy to use, because for the developer it will be just an API to call, not a smart contract thing, just an API. You call an API and it's done.
And that notion of working directly with developers to provide them that full blockchain integration that has been lacking before, where essentially the developers teams are out in the cold. They don't really have that strong of connection with the blockchain foundations and with the blockchain dev
Okay.
teams.
Yeah.
How do we aim to change that?
Oh, we feel that since the beginning because we are working with many foundations, and it's really hard to get into each blockchain and understand how it works. I don't think the developer should understand how the blockchain works. I think he just have to use the blockchain. It's like you ask to the developer understand how the database work inside the database. You know how the database is constructed and so on. So I think we should make this simple and create interfaces that will translate this in the common language to the developers and have REST APIs to all blockchain services is really a thing for me, because it fulfill the necessity of the developers that don't want to spend time learning how the blockchain works and how to build safe applications. All safety is already ensured and by the SDK, how the application is built. So this protocol should be used, and this is really game changing.
So, Sobreira, speaking of removing smart contracts from the developer side, talking about essentially making it a lot easier, not using virtual machines. This is something that you've stated to be a personal and company goal of yours. Can you explain more about why removing smart contract and not working on virtual machines is the way to go for the future of not just our blockchain, but future of blockchain?
uh, Let me try put like this. So I don't think that smart contract is dead at all. Like, it's not removed for every blockchain. Every blockchain has its own use case for smart contracts. For example, Ethereum, Matic, or in a blockchain that relays on VMs that users can deploy smart contract have their applications. The thing that we want to build different things, like innovate and create things that we believe that will work better for certain application. And that way, the removing of VMs, for instance, we can gain performance when we're executing codes, because everything is like pre-building and predetermined by the code itself, the blockchain itself, and how it works. As Dio said, ensuring the unit tests and how every things will be integrated. We also gain performance accessing directly the whole blockchain structure, different from smart contracts that we have a VM layer that and only interact with the contracts that are allowed to do it. So with KleverChain contracts like the KApps, we can integrate the different applications, the different KApps developed inside the blockchain, and we're going to have direct access to the whole blockchain infrastructure, meaning that we can do it more performatic in some in some ways. The drawback of that, of course, is not very open for any applications at the moment that you want. For instance, if you have a single application and that we want to deploy that on a blockchain, it's easier for you to just build your smart contract in Solidity, for example, and deploy on Ethereum. You're gonna have a few things to consider in that, perhaps the fees, or perhaps how to program in that language that you may not know. And on the other hand, if you go for a Klever application, so that way you're probably gonna do it faster in terms of starting developing and starting creating if it's not available yet on KleverChain. But if you have a great use case for certain kinds of interface that we can build on blockchain, KleverChain is gonna help you develop that with KleverChain. So we're gonna implement that protocol, that KApp, and deploy that on KleverChain. Once it's there, anyone will be able to use that protocol and build the other side of the actual application. So for instance, if you don't know anything about blockchain and want to start, if you go to Solidity and deploy your own contract and everything, it's probably going to take a while for you to understand how it works and then to start actually building your application. If you go to KleverChain and you have already that implemented on the protocol, you'll be out of the box. Just make some calls to do the interface, and then you can have your application running. If you don't have, of course, you're going to have the time for us to implement that protocol in the KleverChain. And from there, you're going to be sure that everything is as specified and as you desire to work with. We can focus on the blockchain layer, and which is our specialty here, and you can focus on the application layer. Probably what you are expert in. So you don't need to care about the hard stuff that you don't know yet, and leave that with us and the application side that you should focus on to build your best on your business. That's my
essentially
smart contracts.
Anyone can build on KleverChain because the functionalities, the features, the applications that you can tap into through the API are already there. And if they're not, developers will work with Klever Finance and our own developers to make sure that they become a reality. So let's talk more reality, and let's speak of the caps that are actually coming with the mainnet launch. Let's start with the first one. Cap number one is issue tokens and NFTs, Klever Digital Assets, as we call it, KDA. Please talk more about the first cap.
Okay. So one of the main applications on blockchain, so everyone that starts with a blockchain application wants to issue its own token for any kind of reason, so several reasons. And that's if you're going to deploy that on any other blockchain with VM support, you're probably going to use pre-tested or smart contract. That's okay, because tokens are a very easy one to deploy. It's there's a lot of open contracts for that. One KleverChain on the other side, you don't need to code anything. You just need to call a function on the blockchain API. Say, okay, I want to insert a token. Those are the informations that I want in the company URL, the image that I want for this token, how much token I want to issue, if it will be mintable or not. So every configuration that you need and want to settle for your token, even NFT ones, you can also select fungible and non-fungible tokens.
Can you
And
create one on the testnet right now?
uh, right now, if, is the KF tools available?
Yeah, you can use the KF demo.
You have there? You have it there? Because I'm
Let's
usually with
Let's
this
do it.
slide.
let's see if it works. It's the testnet, so might not work right now. So
Sobreira, do you want to share your screen?
I can try. Let me see.
And meanwhile, Dio, can you talk a little bit more about this kind of basic functionality that comes with it and the different features for both fungible tokens and NFTs?
sure. Sorry, I have made a surgery a few days ago, and I'm still recovering. Uh, yes, the K apps that we want to build are the K apps that are validated by the market. So one of the best use cases is create tokens, and create tokens is the first K app that we built, and the use case are uh, unlimited. I mean, you can create tokens for stable coins, you can create tokens for assets, you can create tokens to catalog stuff, to notarize stuff, you can create for NFT, for utility tokens, security tokens, the token you can imagine. You just name it, it will be there. No necessary coding skills to create a token on KleverChain. We have prepared a demo app that you can go there and create your own stuff without to have to write a single line of code. And that is the experience that we want to provide to our users, to our community. And this first user case is really powerful because it will consume a lot of KLV from the fees.
Indeed, indeed. And one thing that we should add is that in the NFT space today, nascent NFT space, should I add, it's a very early kind of industry, the NFT market, but we already created 4 different kinds of royalty features that will come when you create either a fungible token or an NFT. It's either for the NFT, it's for the fungible, it's for a market or transfer percentage, or fixed price in KLV, meaning that the creator gets the royalty feature according to what he or she chooses when creating that token. So that's a very, very powerful
That
set of features.
is very powerful for the token. And there is also another cap for marketplace. I think Sobreira will talk about it later. Maybe we can do a demo
I'm not
too.
able to share my screen. I'm trying to do here the Chrome somehow is blocking my screen.
Don't worry.
Let's see if you can do it. If you can, let's do it. If not, we'll jump into it in a bit.
It was surprised. I was not preparing into that, so sorry.
I cannot share the screen. The thing is, I can share
Uh,
the screen. If
the
someone can help me.
marketplace cap is really great because everyone can create a marketplace, a decentralized one using the blockchain. So they don't have to implement the marketplace API anymore. They can use the Clever Marketplace protocol to build their own. And they sell NFTs, receive offers, receive royalties, and everything else, everything on chain, and that's another cap.
Yeah, and we'll get to the marketplace cap. But Sobrera, this seems like your sharing of screen option is not available yet. So we will instead do a demo of you creating uh, a KDA, and we'll get it out to the community in the coming days. So no pressure, but always
Don't
pressure.
worry.
So let's go over
I'll keep
to
trying to
the
share the
second
screen
cap.
here.
Oh, there.
Meanwhile, let's go over to the second one. Did you find it?
Oh, I don't.
No, so let's go over to the second cap. Following the token creation and creation of NFTs as the first cap, which will be available on the mainnet upon launch for everyone to use, and not a single line of smart contract code. Cap number 2, staking for KLV, KFI, and all KDA sub-tokens. Dio,
Sure.
go ahead.
Oh, staking is just one amazing feature of the blockchain because every project need a stake to help control the the user don't dump the token if something is going wrong or going good, and this prevent to the project to also do some hide the things from the people because we make it transparent, and this is really good for transparent. And we want to offer that for every token that is created on KleverChain out of the box, so they don't have to create a staking smart contract. They will be able to use the protocol with their own tokens and create staking mechanisms to control the inflation of the token. And this is really powerful because every project need to have a staking to help support the project, to help build the project and move forward on that direction.
Fantastic. Sobreira, do you want to talk more on the second cap, staking for KLV, KFI, and all KDA subtokens?
It's
I
mute.
think your audio is out.
Sorry, I was trying to talk with the tech team here to share the screen, but didn't work. Then I mute the microphone. So one of the things that I receive a lot of times is questions about how I can stake my token on several networks. So it's not an easy task for tokens on staking on EVMs to do that. There's not many contracts out there as there are for issue their own token. And this is one of the great features that community tokens have been using to make promotions, to even giving back to the community some inflation on to their own holders. So instead of just create the tokens and sell by the foundation, they actually do the staking, and the community that already have the tokens since the beginning can increase their own stake of the token. And as that notice, we also include in KleverChain apps a mechanism for any token that has been into the blockchain. Of course, it must be a fungible token. Make a staking mechanism. So they can just call and say, okay, I want a stake for my own token. Here is my APR that I desire to have. And we have two kinds of staking. One with the fixed APR, so we decide how much you want to give back for the stakeholders, and the other is pool APR. So we put let's say every epoch X amount, and then that X amount to be distributed for the ones holding the staking. That's what we use for KFI and KLV. And it's only available for those tools, for those two at the moment. But we also intend to open for every token. For the other tokens, what we have right now is the fixed APR. So you say that you want 10%. Anyone that make a stake on that token going to receive 10%, and they can decide how long a stake to claim and how everything on the staking works. All parameterizer when they create, or they can adjust on the go as well. And every holder can just, if the creator makes the staking available. Every holder can just go in the blockchain and click on the stake button and have the system work for itself. Like, and one thing that we're gonna do with Klever Wallet as well, using this mechanism, is make available for anyone that into the token. They can also later on work on have that staking native on Klever Wallet as well. So as it works the same for every token, we can easily turn it on and off on the wallet.
That is a very powerful feature for projects to directly be able to access their users and their community with the staking feature directly in the Klever wallet, simply because they built a sub token, a KDA, on top of KleverChain. It's an incredible development of blockchain technology to be able to provide these features. It's like Dio said before, like not if you need to create a token or have staking, it's very complex on many other chains, and it takes a lot of time. It costs a lot of money. It takes a lot of dev time, and you can cut that probably by 90%. I think is the deal, or something that you often say. 90% of the time and the money can be cut by simply building on KleverChain.
That's true. Yes, it's also a question of security too, because um, the applications are verifiable, easy to verify, and that's really one thing that we was looking for. Easy to build, easy to verify. So we will build in terms of the time to, and it will be live very very quickly. So
Fantastic. So we're having essentially blockchain for everyone, create token for everyone, staking for everyone, and now we come to the third cap, which is create ICO. KLV and any other token on KleverChain can be used. Speak more about this cap and the power behind having an ICO platform inside KleverChain.
oh no, it's not that we have an ICO platform. We have an ICO protocol. It's an
Indeed.
API that you can create ICO based on a token that you want, and you can set a price and sell the token right now with KLV, but in the future it will be possible to sell with any other token.
Sobreira, more on the create ICO.
Sure. So another thing that we see is a lot of ICO platforms, and they sometimes are very expensive for the token creator. Sometimes not, of course, but most of them charge a great portion of the token to create the ICO and start sparing that, and it's a kind of centralized most of the time. Where it goes to an exchange or something similar. There are some contracts out there, of course, in VMs that you can do, which is not that easy as well. Same thing that happens with staking. And on KleverChain, we create a mechanism on chain where tokens creator can essentially deposit an amount of token that goes to a pool, and they can set up how the ICO thing is going on, and everything is going to be done on chain with the community. So they actually don't need to worry with contracts, with how to deploy their contracts, or even if they go centralized with exchange, how they gonna do the formality of that stuff. And everything on chain, they can easy click and have their ICO running, so anyone in the community can use KLV or any other token that is settled on the ICO to participate in that event.
Essentially, a protocol for ICOs for projects to propel their funding and
Yes.
expand their community. Amazing. I heard from a little bird backstage that the screen sharing has been enabled. Is that true,
Oh
Sobreira?
my God.
Yes, it is
Oh,
enabled now.
let's see if it works.
Let's see if it works and guide us through.
Let me try to log out here. So this is the KF demo, the application that we're doing for everyone to test the KleverChain on testnet. So it's I have not tested yet. So I'm using the CLI. The other team is working with that, but it should be working.
Yuri just told me that it's on DevNet. It's pointing to the DevNet right
Oh,
now.
it's DevNet yet? So, okay. Let's make a switch for testnet later this week or next week. So anyone can see the tokens issued there. So first thing that we need to do is go to the website and then select the key file that you want. You can easily drop here the file and it'll be logged in with the balance that you want. And you can see all these assets that you have issued, also NFTs if you have any. And here we have the KDA, how you can issue a digital, Klever digital asset. It's the short for the KDA here. You can also select staking, so we can delegate and delegate here. Also, if you have other tokens that have staking, you can also do the staking here. And here the ICO that you just talked about, you can select the assets that you want to do and create your own ICO. So basically for KDA, here you go create a KDA or Klever digital asset. You select if you want an NFT or a fungible token. Let's create here a fungible token here. And you can create the name here. Let's put ticker, the address that we are logged in.
Token. Your name is not Tokne, I think.
It doesn't matter. Thanks. So precision goes with numbers of decimals that you want for your token. On KleverChain, you limit that on 6 decimals. Why you do that? So it's a bit complicated to work with 18 decimals like with Ethereum or Ethereum-based tokens. Most of them, of course, you can select that in your contract, but most people don't do it and use 18 decimals. There's a reason to do that. So the calculations and how you do when you have a lot of so there are some specifics on that for precision itself. On KleverChain, we use 6 decimals to gain some kind of how it's make it easier to work on front-end applications. Of course, you're gonna lose in aspects of precisions, but we think that 6 decimals is already enough for every kind of application, at least most of them. Bitcoin, for instance, use 8 decimals, after the for precisions. So here you can specify from 0 to 6. So let's try with 6 here, and you can settle an initial supply. The initial supply goes to the owner wallet. If you select that, if you put 0, you must have a token with mint enabled to be able to have that. So you can just put the amount here. The circulation supply can also be the same thing here. And the max supply, if you have a mintable token, is the maximum that you want for your token. For instance, on KLV, we have 10 billion max supply. So no more than 10 billion can be minted. And if you put 0 here, you have no limit. So several tokens, actually most of them, like Ethereum, Tron, don't have a limit. They can issue as much as they want. Bitcoin, for instance, has 21 million tokens maximum supply. And here's the logo that you want. You can just plug in URL for the token that you want. And whereas means if you want to do any kind of URL besides the token. For example, you can have URL for your own foundation or for your Twitter or for YouTube. You can just label here and add the address. So we can do YouTube, and we can add here YouTube. Oops. I don't know if Klever YouTube is this one, but they should be something like that. Royalties. So if you issue in token, you may also settle royalties for your token. So let's say you issue an NFT and you want to charge for every transfer that is made on that NFT. You can also select here a percentage or a fixed amount. If you also do a fungible token, you can also specify an amount and a percentage that you want to charge for that. For example, let's say that I create my own token and I say if you transfer from 0 to 1,000, we don't charge anything. But if you transfer anything more than 1,000, we're gonna charge 1% of the transfer. So everything that is up to 1,000 on the transfer goes 1% of that goes to the owner royalties wallet. That on the beginning you'll be the owner of the token as well. If you want a staking, and you can use FPR, the FPR is a fixed pool, and the APR when you go to a fixed amount, a fixed percentage based on an annual rate. And the minimum is applicable to claim the percentage that you want. And if you want to add roles to any other address, for example, I create my own token, but I don't want to do the mint myself or even control the ICO prices. I can use this to use Oracle's things. Like, for example, I want to pair the price of the ICO, the tokens that I'm selling on the ICO with dollar. I can do some kind of Oracle thing, so I can settle an address to update the price every time. And I can set some properties here. If the users can freeze, can pause the token to be transferred for any reason that I want, if the token can be burned or not, if we can add roles, for example, the mint or the ICO roles. If you can whip some accounts, for example, with that's usually no, of course. But for example, you have a stable coin and someone rob your coin, and the token owners can also have the ability to wipe that if they want to. This is not very common, but some tokens have that. So we also include here, if you want to mint and also change the owner of the token, you can actually in the end just create. It's gonna show you the API call that you want to do, and then we just send. And if the DevNet is working right now, we should see, okay, a hash, and it's there, and we can go to explore. I don't know if we can access because this is on testnet link, and this is in DevNet right now. But soon we're gonna deploy that on testnet for everyone to test. And when you do that, anyone can use that here. Then if I close, there's a cost to issue the token, of course. And if you go to the wallet, you're gonna see that it charged me like just 3, but it's not. This is not the end price. It is in DevNet, so the price is a bit different from what is going to be in the mainnet and testnet. I think that's all. And
Awesome.
Well,
Can you show the ICO and the marketplace?
yeah.
Let's do this
Before we move on,
we are short here.
before we move on to ICO and marketplace, let's just stop for a second and kind of take in the simplicity of this entire process that Sobreira just showed us. We're talking about a few simple steps, but a range of versatile options for features into your token simply at creation. Dio, do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yes, as everyone can see, it was not necessary to know any kind of code to create a token, and to have the staking, and to have the royalties, and to have all that stuff. That is cool, but you have spend months and months and months coding, and in the end you want to try to deploy the smart contract, but you are not safe. You don't feel safe with your smart contract. So that changed the thing for everyone. So, and of course, you can automate everything with the API in your backend if it's necessary.
Incredible. Yeah, it's power a blockchain completely simplified, made it a lot faster for any project to propel themselves and instead focus on what's truly important for them. That's their vision, and that's to build out their own application. So amazing.
It's exciting,
It
very
is. It is.
exciting,
It's incredibly exciting.
because imagine how much stable coins can run that way and work very well. It's really powerful.
Yeah,
Tokens
we'll get
for
to stable coins. But if you want to talk a little bit about your vision about stablecoins on KleverChain, because we are already extending this quite a bit. It's going to be a long live today, but you want to talk a little bit about stablecoins right now and your vision for them on KleverChain?
yes. Well, I was keeping that for later, but well, let's talk. It's okay. Um, we are building a solution we call Clever Cash, that is for stable coins, multiple stable coins in a decentralized way. So we will use KLV as liquidity for the stable coin, and that will be a really cool project. That if it went well, we will we will grow a lot. I expect. So let's see.
Amazing. Yeah, great. We can't share too much details on this project, evidently, but it's definitely a power feature because stablecoins are eating the world of crypto, and they're being used more in trading than anything out there. In the beginning of the crypto economy, Bitcoin was clearly the most traded token, but today it's USDT and USDC and any other stablecoin, which will likely just continue to increase.
Yes, that is really really exciting use case for us, because it's changed a lot the dynamics of the KOV.
So let's jump into the fourth cap. We're only three in. We've gone over the first three issue tokens, the second staking, the third create ICO. Now we're coming into the fourth one, which is NFT marketplace. So Brera, what is the NFT marketplace cap?
So, as simple as we can issue a token or NFT or create an ICO, we also have the ability to create your own marketplace. At this time, marketplace meaning for NFT marketplace. We're gonna expand that in a bit, but when the mainnet will come, we're gonna have available the NFT. On NFT marketplace, basically you create your own marketplace as we are uh, creating your own area to give your users to sell tokens and buy tokens in your platform. Clever Blockchain will enable the developers to the companies and to issue their own marketplace, and with that access the blockchain. The protocol is simple, just create marketplace, you say the fees that you want to apply for every transaction that's going on, and the blockchain to the rest. The developers actually need to work on the other side, that is make the beautiful front end. We have a demo as well on that, on the same website that I just showed. But the demo is too simple. The developers can create amazing stuff with the protocol that we have. And once they have their interface to the blockchain, users gonna connect to their website and plug the NFTs that they have to sell, and others can search for any NFTs that is available there and make the buy. When you do that, the fees that on that transaction goes to the owner of the marketplace. So KleverChain is going to charge the transaction fee, the basic fee, and every fees made it on the market goes to the creator of the marketplace. So anyone can issue its own marketplace, call their community to use it, and profit on that. Also, if you're selling an NFT that has royalties, besides the market NFT, market fees, you're gonna also be charged on the royalty fees, because there is a transfer of NFT from one user to another user. So the creator of the NFT, if it has settled a royalty fee, gonna also receive a percentage of that transaction in his own account. So everything transparent and made it inside the blockchain. Easy as that.
Dio, what do you want to add?
Dio?
Sorry.
Muted.
Sorry. I think it's another opportunity for the developers, because it will be very simple to give functionality to the games. And imagine a game that has 1,000 assets, and they can transform that into NFTs, use the speed of Klever blockchain to transact between the users if it's necessary. If it's not necessary, they can use the API and do all the stuff in the back end. So tell me another blockchain that have that.
Indeed. No, the use cases are immense. They are numerous, and but they're also based around usability, right? Because it's based on our own experience on building on top of more than 22 blockchains. So it's always reflected into making it easier, simpler, and faster, but making it usable for developers and users to flourish.
One thing that we usually do here is to solve our own problems first. I mean, we face thousands of different problems in crypto, in security, and management and development. So we try to solve those problems and evolve as a group and as a team to go to the next level. And that is one thing that will keep evolving, is to keep adding more value to the blockchain, to our community, to our products. And I'm really excited.
As am I. Let's go on from the NFT marketplace and go into the fifth camp, which is centered much around the Klever Finance token, KFI, and the governance token of the entire Klever chain, and that is proposals. Sobreira, what is the cap for proposals?
So as a governed by the community chain, we have our governance token. It's called KFI. Not only for governance, like people that every K app used in the Klever chain has a K app fee, and that fee go also to a pool that will be distributed to the KFI holders that have staked that token. But besides receiving percentage fees of the whole ecosystem of the K app ecosystem, we also have the ability to govern the chain. For example, if the community see that the fees are too high or too low, and they want to adjust that, and majority agrees, they can easily go there and settle the proposal to adjust that fee and change that. At the beginning of the mainnet, and actually now on the testnet, we will be able to do that. Just the fees, that's the first parameters that we are making available for the community. But there are also other parameters and other things that we're going to make available on proposals KF. For example, network parameters as block time and consensus size and everything. And besides that, we also going to make available powerful tools. For example, if they want to rate a token, someone creates a token that doesn't seem very looking because they made some huge scam by on their community, and we can also put that on vote on KFI proposals. And another example would be a bad actor on validators that's not doing very well, dropping blocks a lot, making the network go slow with the throughput because they have poor hardware, because they just turn it off, once receiving tokens without doing much. We can go to the community governance and say, oh, this validator, look at the ratios that they've been doing, dropping a lot of blocks, and we can drop that or ban that validator with the community power. So that's a few things that we will be able to do with KFI proposals later on the network.
Incredible. Dio, do you have anything to add on the power of this cap of proposals?
Well, we are giving the users the ability to participate in the network in a way that was not possible before. Um, I hear a lot of projects that has community-driven stuff, but in the end, there is a VC in the background dictating the rules and say how they have to work, who they have to hire, and how they have to spend their money. Um, the difference here is we don't have any kind of VC. We are community based, and the community will say if it is expensive or cheap, if this token is good or not, if this token or this NFT is a valid one or not, and let's see what will happen.
The market will decide, essentially creating a free market within the community.
Exactly. That is the thing. I want the ecosystem to grow in a way that is organically built by the community. The protocols that we will create are not for just one person or group. It should be a protocol that can be used by many and ensure that we will ensure the market fit as well. So uh, uh, I mean, I mean, maybe I'm not the right person to say, but I'm very excited that I'm always excited about what we are doing, and yeah, let's do it. Let's keep doing it.
Let's build it. We do have even more excitement coming in because we were just speaking about the NFT marketplace, and there's really no one better in our family and in our organization to speak about NFTs and understand the power that the NFT features on KleverChain will bring to the Klever ecosystem and to the entire NFT space than Felipe Rieger, our head of Klever NFT. So please, Felipe, happy that you're here.
Yo,
Hello, guys. How's it going?
come by me. How are you?
Fine, great, man. Great. Miss you.
I miss you.
So, how's it going,
Thank you
Sobreira?
for joining us on
Yeah,
such a short notice, man.
Yeah, I was with the guys just working and with other meeting, and so here I am.
Yeah, sorry to bother
Easy
you in the
stuff.
DM, but I thought it was important that you came and you shared a little bit of what you see the potential of KleverChain in general and the cap building, but in specifically, of course, as a side note, the NFT marketplace. Share us your thoughts.
Yeah, I was really excited to see the Sobreira demo because I saw this all this work that the guys are doing. The labs team are just rocking. I'm seeing this effort and the build on a daily basis. It's wonderful to see the labs guys, and I'm so happy to see the royalty and how will make the NFT asset better than the others. So I just typed on the YouTube that the high gas fees at the end of high gas fees is coming. So I think that we will create a way better product, and also I think that once we get this KleverChain marketplace, it will enable to other users to create their own marketplaces, and it will be so easy and so fast. And for me, this royalty standard is changing the way we create NFTs. So it's so good to see it on the live demo. I think the people and the developers that are watching this right now are very excited.
Almost crying. Almost crying. See that.
Yeah,
It was almost like an experience of an epiphany, right? Like I've seen it before, but seeing it in action live,
Yes,
the simplicity of creating a token like that, it's really, really inspiring. And I think it can be a game changer for a lot of projects out there.
indeed.
sure.
Yeah.
I talk at yeah. Go ahead, you go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing with Misha that the simplicity is the key to everything that we do. We build it for ourselves to solve our problems, and have to create a smart contract to deploy a new token is painful. It's pain in the ass, actually.
But it
So,
shouldn't be.
but it should be very easy, like we show to everyone here. And
Actually, I'm talking with a lot of creators in the last weeks, and I'm seeing that this smart contract process for NFT creators is just a huge step. For example, and seeing a live demo like this one that I just checked right now, it's so simple and so easy that everyone can do it, and you can focus on your business. So imagine if you have a project and you want to create, you just create it, and you don't have this smart contracts or effort that you have. For example, imagine you are an artist and you have your art, and you are the best in your area, and you want to create something and you want to benefit from this technology. You should hire a dev, you should hire a smart contract specialist, because you won't be doing this, it's so difficult. And I'm seeing, talking with the collection creators, that this part of smart contract is the most difficult part of that. And seeing something easy like the KleverChain, it will change the way that the developers create this, so we will make it easier for developers, and you can focus on what is best for you, that what is you are better, so that's my 2 cents.
Fantastic. So let's jump right into the sixth cap that will be coming on mainnet launch, and that is, of course, Multi-Sig. Sobreira, take us through, first of all, what is Multi-Sig and what is Multi-Sig as a cap on KleverChain?
Multi-sig is the ability for a wallet, or let's say, let's go general, like it's requiring several entities to sign for something to work. For example, if you make a contract, a physical contract and a real world contract, and you want, for example, you want a company and there's a two person that controls the company, so you need two signatures to make every document to go through. Sorry.
There, much better sound. Thanks.
That's one of the things. So, besides, not only control in contract, you can also control the ability in your bank account. So if you require to transfer funds from one person to other in your bank account, and you also require two persons to sign together to make that available, the transfer available, we can also do that in the blockchain or in blockchain wallet. Some blockchains has that feature. For example, in Bitcoin, they create two distinct addresses, make a combination of each other to make a multi-signature wallet. So you actually have a multi-signature wallet with a new wallet. Ethereum-based wallet contracts, you can deploy a contract wallet, which is a bit different and sometimes difficult because of the fees is not the same of actually Ethereum transfer, and you can kind of create a multi-sign ability on that, kindish. On Tron, you also have abilities to create that with different adjustments and so on. On KleverChain, you also bring that on first day of mainnet launch. So every wallet can create special rules to control the wallet. You can also make distinct parameters on the wallet to say, let's say you want to transfer tokens, any Subi token, anyone can do. Anyone that signs here on this list can do. But to transfer actually KLV, you need signature from this, or 3 of 5, or 2 of 3. You can make special selections on how the requirements for each kind of transactions you want to do, and easily choose how it's going on for your wallet. It is not needed to create a new wallet. You can have your wallet, okay, my funds are here, and I just want to adjust that. If you are the owner of the wallet, you can do and easily set up, make a setup of the whole team to work with that account with special rules. Besides, after this is created, you can also create a role to control that parameter. So we don't want to make one person to be able to adjust everything. So you can easily, after we set up the whole set of wallets and roles that we want, we can also remove the property to adjust without 3 or 5 or even 10 signatures to control the whole parameters and the whole roles on the wallet. So that come a lot of features that you can do. For instance, you want to make application that users can have access to a fund or transfer that fund with us, between you and other people, and you can actually require a signature from the user, so you can control the funds and ensure that the funds of that user that you have is also secure with your private key side and user's private key side.
Dio, what do you have to add around multi-sig?
Ninja stuff. Yeah, Multi-Sig is really good because we can increase the security of the applications, having multiple people authorizing transactions. So it's really powerful on-chain feature that's usually not available on wallets out there.
It's pretty mind blowing. Yes, multi-sig is not a new technology, as Sobreira So astutely mentioned, it's on many chains. However, being able to have it hard coded into the blockchain in this way, accessible to everyone, is something very new. So let's talk. Yeah,
When you
Dio,
think
go.
about the use case, there are many possibilities because you can create applications that require many signatures to complete stuff. It's not only transactions, but application on stuff. So this is really, really good, really useful, and it's our own change solution. I imagine a notary business that want to sign documents with and want to have peer reviews on the documents and have two signatures. This would be useful for that as well.
And that comes kind of brings us to my next question. We've gone over all the 6 caps that come with the mainnet. What are the benefits and what are the drawbacks of hard coding caps directly into the blockchain?
You mean drawbacks, right?
Yeah.
So, thing is, it's not hard coded. We can adjust that. That's a keyword there too. So as we go and evolve, we can adjust the KApp and make it integrate with other things. It's not written in a rock as the smart contract is there, and if it is a whole smart contract, the one can never change. So the KApp, we actually have access to the code, and we can adjust and improve the KApp as it goes. Some drawbacks on have KApp, as I said in the beginning, I think, is that it's not, if you don't have the KApp actually ready in production, and you want to use some kind of a specialty protocol that is not ready, it will take a little bit more because you need to actually develop, integrate, test, integrate, and then make it available for everyone in the blockchain. It's different from the smart contract that you can just develop as you wish and as you think it's good and deploy. With that, as we don't have that, because we need to test and verify and make it available in the code for everyone, every node that is deploying the network, then we may experience a bit of delay if the protocol is not ready for that functionality that you need. But
I would say that we are limited by the applications that we have right now. But the applications that we have right now are not limitation. I mean,
there's
we
no
can
limitation for new applications.
exactly. We can always improve by creating a new protocol in the next deployment and in the next release. And if we spend 10,000 hours to build a smart contract, the timing to build this cap will be maybe 200 hours. That is the timing, the difference in timing and complexity, because we can build much more complex stuff that is possible with smart contract. Every smart contract, as you grow the code, it keep getting really, really hard to maintain the code, to evolve the platform. Complex smart contracts are really good to exploit, to try new exploit, to exploit things and so on. So the only advantage I see right now in this moment is be limited by the applications that we have, the protocol that we have now. But the protocol that we have now are validated by the market. We just have to use it and prove that our hypothesis is good and it works for a lot of people. Ensuring that will open the room to build much more caps, and developers will reach us to build the protocol they need for the applications that they need. And they will talk with a really expert team to build blockchain solutions. and we'll see if they really need it that they are looking to build, or if that is something that is easier to build to start with. So I agree with Sobreira too.
Amazing. There's been many questions before this live, and one of them has been centered around DeFi. Dio, can you share the vision that we have around DeFi on KleverChain and how that will evolve over time?
Sure. Build the DeFi on KleverChain is almost impossible to not do it. I mean, we have to do it. It's something that was really made for it, and we will take the time in the next semester to build this DeFi protocol in a way that is really good for the market, and hopefully we can have it by the end of the year. Including swap technology, automated market maker technologies, lending technologies, and well, you can define name it.
Sobreira, do you have anything to add on DeFi?
I know US are working a lot on DeFi. I think every day almost he wants a meeting. Okay, let's try this and this and this, and we discuss a lot of DeFi, trying to make the best adjustment for what we believe we work on DeFi systems. So we are in good hands, on your hands, making this DeFi system to work.
Yeah, and to get to those kind of applications layers and to speak about the maturity of the KleverChain, we also are including, of course, our amazing community. Users, developers, creators, innovators, builders, supporters, and we're going to do this through our very own hackathon. Let's talk about the Klever Global Hackathon, Sobreira, and what comes with it. The stage is yours.
Okay, Klever Hackathon, I don't know if it's released all the documentation yet, but what I can talk about is that we want to build the testnet, in testnet a great place for developers to test and experience everything that Klever can give to the community. So we're going to start on July 1st. Actually, the deadline will be July 1st, with all the three main groups that we have, which is content creator and bug hunting, and also those are the four for the application layer, right? So Explorer, ICO market, game, NFT, and innovation. On Explorer part, what we want is, so Klever has a Explorer on testnet, but we know that users always have great ideas that they want and they wish, and if they feel right to give that back to the community as well, we are providing a Explorer Challenger where they can put their point of view on which is the best way to show the KleverChain data and for the whole community. On the ICO market, as the same thing, we're gonna show some, we have some demos on already, but we want the community to make their point of view on how they can make applications on KleverChain, how they can develop and use the protocol, and also show how great they can develop for KleverChain. The same thing goes for the innovation part. So on innovation, games NFT first. I almost missed that. We have a great partnership with DevKings. With DevKings, we We are building a huge game based on NFTs, where every character has its own NFTs that people can change on the blockchain and everything. We want to attract more gamers, developers to our blockchain. So we are releasing this challenger with participations on special on games NFTs for games developers initiating or already have their own game. They want to integrate that with NFTs on a blockchain. And the innovation part is an idea that the community developers has, and it's not listed on the other three, but they feel that it's very good application to implement on KleverChain with the protocol that we have, or if not, if we can implement that, they can submit on innovation challenger for us to evaluate if which one will be the best. Beside the whole creation theme of applications, we are here to test the testnet. So make developers more familiar with it, to attract more community members to test the applications, and be ready for the mainnet launch on July 1st.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Sobreira, for sharing that. Before we jump into the next thing,
Very
Dio, do you have
excited.
anything to add on the hackathon?
Excited. I mean, Clever started in a hackathon, the stuff. So I want to see a lot of good projects from our community, and excited to find the next one to invest on. So let's find the good projects, the good teams, and see how they work. Let's see.
Great.
Excited
And
also for the content promotion. We will partner with the content creators around the world to talk about Clever, to teach about Clever, and so on. And also for security bug hunts. And I'm very excited for all of this. Want to see all the projects already.
all the details, guys, around the hackathon will be released in full shortly. So stay tuned to our social channels to make sure not to miss an update on when to apply and when to start the competition. We're definitely running out of time. It's been an absolute fire session. Let's jump into a few more points and then call it a day. What does KleverChain mean for the growth and the future of the Klever ecosystem here?
We was limited by the other third-party blockchain technologies to build our own stuff, limited by fees, by foundations that never answer us, limited by the exchanges that don't want to list us. I don't know that's what the problem these guys have, because we are in a growing ecosystem where everyone should help everyone. I mean, we are here since 2007, and we will keep working on our own stuff, and build the things that we love for the community that we love. And I mean, it's all about grow together, because the opportunity, the market is open for everyone. uh, if you are not better than yourself, you cannot go to the next level. So you have to keep improving and improving. Sometimes we do mistakes, but mistakes are often the steps for the success. And this success is already here. It is stay here for much more than 3 years with the community that we have. The last year we had 50 developers. We have 160 now. So I'm really proud of what we are achieving, and what we are doing as a group, as a team. I'm just the facilitator, because all the stars are coding. in the background, and we have the best developers in the world working at Clever, the best product managers, the best people that they don't work only because of the money. They work because they believe in what we are doing, and that is really powerful. We don't have time sheet here. I don't ask when you wake up and when you start to work, because it's not the way that we believe. We want everyone to be happy, to be free, to be excited about what we are doing. We have the unique opportunity to help all the users that have a problem in the crypto space, and there is a lot of problem in the crypto space that need to be solved. We want to partner with the good companies, the big companies that want to make difference and not only make money, because make money without make change is worthless. We need to change, help the people to have a better life, and I believe we can do that. We can change the game not only for us but everyone that is here believing in what we are doing since the beginning. And I wake up every day really excited to see what was done yesterday because I want to see it work. I want to test. I want to play with. I want to the next level, and I want to say thank you to the community, to the developers working at Clever, to everyone working at Clever, because they are really changing the world. It's amazing and it's exciting.
In a recent article written by our good friend from Kansas, Curtis Kitchen, Rieger, you said, "I don't work for Dio, I work for Dio's vision." What do you mean with that?
Like Dio said, to be true, we are a bunch of developers that have a passion to create amazing products, and we are inside the blockchain. So, how many projects we see outside that we have this skin in the game and love to develop and create products? So, when I told about that with Curtis, I was talking that we don't work here at Kleber. I don't feel that I work. I feel that I'm building something. I'm feel that I'm creating something special. That's why I'm inside Kleber. If it was about the money, I wasn't here because I never stayed. Like I said before, on other in something just for money. So that's my point of view. I think that we are just creating something incredible here, that we are impacting lives. Tomorrow morning, I received a message from our great friend from Ghana. So I was helping him to create content on the web. So I'm just trying to impact something, people that in a place that I never been there. So I never been in Ghana, but I'm helping people. I know that our work it's changing lives in Ghana and in Nigeria, all over the world. So that's why we are here. So that's my vision, my point of view. That's my motto.
100%. Our work has purpose, it has meaning. It's meaningful not only to us, but to everyone who use our products today and all the millions who will continue to use them tomorrow. The surprise, Dio, that you had in store for us is something you want to share on the screen before we jump off?
Oh, let's try. Let's see if I can do it. Mm. Can you guys see my screen?
Let's see. It might take a few seconds. There we go. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look at that.
It's beautiful.
Please explain. What is that?
Oh, this is our new web extension that I just received from the developers. We are testing for the first time it, and I'm showing to you guys. We will start with these 3 coins: Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Tron, and we'll keep adding more and more coins to the extension, support the developers with the integration. We will have a good documentation, and let's see how it works. Hopefully, send a hi to our MetaMask friends, and that's it.
We will have support
Amazing.
on the exchange too, Misha. Our team is building something to integrate with our exchange products. So we will have a Web3 connection there. And the team also said that very soon we will also support NFTs. So I think it will be a huge step for us with this extension.
Yes.
Amazing.
Always
Well,
cooking.
guys,
Always cooking.
always cooking. The ninjas are never sleeping. It's amazing to be part of, and it's incredible to have such an immense and supportive and active community with us on this journey. Any last word, Dio, before we head off?
I want to say thank you to everyone. Um, really means a lot to me having you guys here and sharing for us, helping us on the social networks, and spreading the word, and making Clever bigger and bigger every day. So thank you very much. Thank you for the developers, for the product managers, for the marketing guys, HR guys, everyone that work in Clever. Launching the Clever blockchain will be the game changer for us, because we will, for the first time, have no limitation on the things that we can build. So that gives us a really great point of view of the industry and what the user really need. So that's it. Thank you.
And to all of you out there, since this session was very centered on KleverChain, our motto still stands.
Yeah.
Blockchain is difficult, but it shouldn't be. Have a great day, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks,
Bye,
guys.
bye. Thank you.
All right.